Yeah, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Shatik Ferguson. So I did receive a text message from one of our viewers asking me basically how they wanted to be able to take control of their straw man, right, and still operate in commerce and get a better understanding of commerce and uh, operating in the private. So because I'm not a lawyer and things of that nature, all I do is give out my past experiences. I always try to make sure at what level they operating under. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, when they start receiving this type of information, they operate it wrong because they're going at the system as if the system has a problem with them. They're creating problems, and sometimes it's hard to get a remedy when you create more problems. So sometimes a problem gets in the way of you actually seeking a remedy because you still got to solve the aggression point, right? So they know how to build or create wall or roadblocks to get you, swayed off the path. All right, I say that to say because when we understand exactly what it is that we studied, we got to realize and try to understand how it's being applied, right? So, with my past experiences and me having my UCC 1 registered and my whole harmless indemnity agreement and all of these things in the public registry and all that. And I did it from a disadvantage point because at the time I was already doing 9 years in the Fed. So I had 9 years of straight study on this. I never left my cell. I actually started giving classes on it, finding remedies, but honestly, a lot of times we chased our tail, especially when discharging cases and this, that, and the third. Yeah, I got myself in quite a bit of trouble just for practicing this type of stuff in the federal penitentiaries. And this is true story. Anybody that knows me or hears me will back this. But so as I continued in my studies and I figured I just knew so much and I was doing little things and getting little things discharged and being able to find people that's willing to accept my notes, for value and place them in the proper places and things of that nature. And I was able to actually benefit. So, but I never got my true remedies because I'm like, this. Nobody understands what I'm saying. Not even when I take my paperwork down, when I file them, that's always coming back like incorrect. They accept the filings, they accept this, they accept that, but me not knowing the difference between commerce and protecting my private jurisdiction, I'm falling victim every time. Because I never really knew how to separate my straw man. From making me the surety of his actions. Those that follow UCC talk or know exactly where I'm at with that point. So I had to come up with a real remedy to actually separate my straw man from myself. And it was years of study and years of this and me putting my one in and using my straw man as the debtor and all of these things. I did it all, right? I did everything I was supposed to do, and then I couldn't get no remedy. So then all of a sudden it hit me. Boom! I know what it is that they're saying. I gotta operate me how they operated me. But what I gotta do is I gotta go create my own public fiction. That's what I did. So that's what I went and created me a corporation. Right? And then I wouldn't, like a baby, I wouldn't register it. Right? And after I went and registered it, and like they said, the birth certificate's got a value and a bond attached to it. So I wouldn't put a value and a bond, and I attached it to my new fictitious. Right? That's what I did. Not only that, but now I have, right, my own machine. Right? So the United States government is never held as the surety if it mishandles your straw man. So you should never be held as the surety if you mishandle your new straw man. Correct? So now you got to find different ways to separate yourself from the straw man. Correct? Where you're not being held accountable for the straw man as the surety. Right? So you got to place some type of security interest. So that way, if you are getting penalized in any way as the private human, right, then the people know where you stand. Oops, that was an accident. We can remedy it this way. But unfortunately, I kept coming up short. So once I created my straw man and my corporation, and I added my bond to it, then I moved further. Right? So it's not just about understanding or trying to receive redemption of what you have learned. It's about operating in commerce properly. Once you've learned all of these things that have been put against you, you have to know how to now apply it for your own usage. So then people get to the point and they say, well, then how do I protect myself from being harmed by my straw man? Right? And then you take that next step because you've already stated who you are in the public. Right? And if you didn't, that's a process, and that comes with consultation. Like I said, the numbers are always attached. But the process is not as hard as you think. You're just doing it wrong. Right? Then as you separate yourself and you find yourself standing, you want to make sure, right? You know what side of the field. You want to know what side of the field you're playing on. You want to make sure after you separated yourself, you got an army backing you. So they know, ain't no way to think that the real man is the straw man. We can't let you punch. So now you got to build your nation. Now you got to get in that private sector. See, in the private sector, you got to operate in the private sector and do what the private people do so that you are secured. Because you don't operate in commerce when you're in the private. You have already put something in commerce for commerce to deal with now. Now you're supposed to live your life in the private sector. Right? Now we're dealing with the jurisdictions. You know what I'm saying? Now we making sure that we have our nations and we know what our constitutional rights is. That way we can travel safely, right? Without being held accountable in the public. See, all of these things take place. Even when I watch videos and the guy says he was going and he wanted to get his passport, but no matter what, they would not let him walk away without first putting that social security number down. Even though they signed the waiver and everything, they still say, no, sir, I have to put. They have to. The straw man is what gives them life. That is what feeds commerce. That's how they feed commerce, through the straw man. And so you can't just think when you disconnect from the straw man, right? The straw man also has a balance to it. You hear that balance? doesn't always mean, you know, some people think I might be talking in a banking form where you look into your account and it's no, not balance has many different meanings to it. You must have a balance. You gotta balance it out. So anybody that's watches UCC Talk 24, please understand that we are assuming that you have figured out what it is that you want, so that you're not misguided or misconstrued as we move forward. We will be putting up our other page where people will be able to come on and get a step-by-step tutorial on how I did it. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant. I'm just going off of my personal experience. Thank you for your time. UCC Talk 24, we signing out.